Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Dino. Many of you may know what this thing is, but some may not. Is it a multi-tool? Is it a fidget spinner? What exactly is this thing for? Well, when we come back, I'm going to tell you exactly what this thing is for, what my thoughts are on how it works, and whether or not you should spend the $15 on something like this for your motorcycle. So why don't you sit back, grab yourself something cold to drink, and enjoy Dino's Tinker Shed. I think I know what this is. I'll see you in a minute. So what do you think this is? It's all made out of aluminum. It's got a bolt here that acts like a hinge, and it's got this threaded piece here. So what could it be? Well, it could be for opening different types of beverages. This here is maybe a clamp. See how it fits in your hand nice like that? You can unscrew bottle tops with it. This part here could be for pull tabs. I'm not really sure. It also could be a bit of a clamp if you want to clamp a couple things together. But that doesn't make sense. This is a motorcycle channel, right? What this thing is it's actually a throttle lock. Now, some people would call this a cruise control device, but it's not. It's really a throttle lock. It's designed to go around your handlebar grip and press up against your brake lever here to stop the throttle from returning to the closed position. And this is a knockoff. This one's made in China. I think I paid $14 on Amazon for this. The original was $30 or $40 if I remember correctly, and I'm not even sure if you can still buy it because it's pretty much been, I think, run out of the industry by these cheap ones. But the question is, does this thing actually work? Why don't we go out to the bike and I'll show you how this thing fits on there and then tell you what my experience is with using this thing on a multi-day trip. Okay, let's get out to the bike. All right, we have our throttle lock. What exactly are we gonna do with this? Well, it really could not be much simpler to put this thing on the bike. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the actual throttle lock with this adjusting nut facing out towards you while you're sitting on the bike. Next, we're going to slide it up and over the grip and let it sit down on your front brake lever. Next, we're going to lift it just a little bit off the brake lever and we're going to tighten down that adjusting bolt. And we're going to tighten it to a point where it'll stay where it sits. Now, when you move the throttle, you're going to see that it moves with your throttle tube. That is the neutral position, basically turned off. And that's how it's going to sit most of the time when you're riding. Now, you're going to want to use this thing. So how does it actually work? Well, when you're out on the highway and you're riding along and you have your throttle sitting in a static position for a long period of time, you may want to have a little bit of a break and let your right hand off the bar for a bit. Now, to do this, what you're going to do is, I find you're going to twist the throttle a little bit more than you need to maintain the speed you want. Then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to push it against the built-in lever on the throttle lock. And you're going to continue to push it until it bottoms out against your front brake lever. When you let go of the grip, the throttle lock now holds the throttle tube in position and stops it from rotating back to an idle position, maintaining your speed, but more accurately maintaining your throttle position. You go up and down hills, this thing isn't gonna sort of modify the throttle position to maintain speed. It's stuck where it's stuck. When you want to actually turn it off, you use your thumb again and you push on the back side of that lever until it comes up and frees the lever to the point that it returns back to idle. And that's how it works. In cases of emergency, you can roll the throttle back by hand. This device doesn't put enough pressure on there to stop you from doing that. And if you want to overtake another vehicle, well, you just basically roll more throttle on. It doesn't impact throttle advancement at all. And that's how these things actually work. All right, what are my thoughts on this throttle lock? Is it viable? Does it work? Is it worth the $14? It does work. I'll give it that. It does work. It doesn't work quite as well as I had hoped. And I guess what that means is you're always sort of fiddling with it to get it just to the right spot to maintain the speed you want. But it is possible, especially on long, like 4-lane roads where there's not a lot of traffic. You can dial this thing in and get it reasonably close to the speed that you want. Now I have a fairly sticky type grip and it works pretty well on there. It's a little bit hard to slide it around with your thumb, but what I find is once I kind of get it where I want it, I'll lock that throttle knob down or that locking knob in a little bit tighter and it grips pretty good. At certain RPM ranges on the DR650, the vibration on the handlebars does let it creep back a little bit. So you'll start to lose a little bit of throttle position over the course of maybe 10 or 15 kilometers, and you may have to readjust it. But mostly I just want to get my hand off the bar for a few minutes just to let my throttle hand stretch, maybe adjust something, I don't know. And it does work okay for that, but it certainly is not cruise control. You're not going to just set it and forget it with this thing. It's always a little bit of playing around. I don't really find it all that intrusive. I leave it on the bike all the time now, and it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't seem, for me anyway, to make the grip too short. It still seems like there's lots of room there, and it's kind of fun because you can kind of see it moving back and forth. I know that's crazy, but it's a weird little thing that you can see that going back and forth, especially in the videos. I like to watch it. I do find, though, it does impact the quality of the grip a little bit. It twists it a little, and I think over time it's going to wear your throttle grip out faster, obviously, than if you didn't have it. Now, they do include sort of a generic rubber barrel that fits over your grip that's supposed to make it both slide better, I guess, and maybe grip better on smoother grips. I couldn't even find mine because I never used it right from the start. But I'll show you a picture here from the website what it kind of looks like, and that slides over your grip. This goes on top of that, and it's supposed to help with grips that are maybe a little bit smoother. Overall, I think for the price, it's not a bad addition if you spend a lot of time on 4-lane highways or remote 2-lane highways where you want to actually get your hand off the grip. It does work. And for the price, it's a pretty cheap upgrade or stocking stuffer maybe. And it seems to be quite well built. I mean, it's all aluminum. It seems robust, that it's going to last a long time, and it's not really all that complex. The one thing I did do is I did add a little bit of anti-seize to the actual positioning screw here, just so it wouldn't seize, because it's steel and it's in aluminum. And if it sits on the bike and gets wet, you know, it could lock in there. So I took it apart, added a little bit of anti-seize in there just to stop that from happening. So I would recommend this thing. It's not going to solve all your problems. It's not perfect, but it does give you a break sometimes to let your hand off the bar so that you can get a little bit of rest on that throttle hand. So I would say it's probably a good purchase. If you liked the video, please, by all means, leave a comment below. If you have one of these things and have some experience with them, let everybody else know. Leave a comment and tell them your experience, good or bad. If you like this type of content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me produce better quality content and helps YouTube know that there's people out there that want to watch this kind of stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, I'm gonna get this back onto the bike and maybe even go for another ride. It's pretty nice today. And I'll see you soon here again on Dino's Tinker Shed. You have yourself a great day and I'll see you soon.